They say the market is like a relationship, lots of ups and downs, and you're always the last to know when it's crashing. I'm Spencer, Yule Spencer, with a comics view of Wall Street. I need to tell you about a number that nobody talks about and why. Not a million, not a billion, not a trillion, not the number you see on those YouTube thumbnails with some dude standing in front of a rented Lambo telling you he made it in 30 days, trading stocks and options, but no cocaine. This is a psychological game. It's what kind of makes it a game. Anywhere there are winners and losers, you're in a game. Know it or not, but it's why I showed up on the scene to tell you it is a game and you're in it. The stock market has never been this funny until I got here. You can believe that. 98% of being consistently profitable in the stock markets is psychological. It's in your head. Why do they keep messing with us? It's so you can lose the game to them. Get it? They're taking you out of the market. So they win and you lose. It's a game. The number I want to talk about is $1,000, a G. Yep, a grand. Because right now, today they say in July of 2026, the numbers say 63% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. The numbers don't be lying, the people do. The numbers can come in hot. 90% of the people have less than $500 left over every single month after their bills are paid. That ain't right. And 61% of Americans have delayed major life and death milestones: retirement, marriages, funerals, buying a home, building a family, owning a sex bot because of debt. I personally had to postpone all those things, especially my funeral. I won't be showing up to it. You can believe that too. It's why I wrote the Wall Street Smarts book series in the first place, to help everyday people become real investors. It starts with $1,000. Can you keep $1,000 invested? I'm Yule Spencer, a.k.a. Spencer, and today we're talking about what I call the Thousandaire mindset, and why if you skip this step, everything else we've talked about on this channel won't work. I will scare you wealthy if I have to. Let's get into it. Here's something I've noticed about financial education, and I mean the mainstream version, the version they sell on TV, conferences, and in those self-help books. The non-relatable type. Everybody wants to talk about the millionaire, the seven-figure portfolio, the passive income that lets you travel the world. And I get it. Hyping people sells. People want to dream big. I have a dream too. Next time you go to one of those big investing events, see if anyone in the audience has millions of dollars. I always like to ask questions. You should get used to doing that too. Where's the audience's millions? I see you on stage, but what about the audience? They still look broke. Matter of fact, I know most of them are, even though they dressed up for this event to look rich. How do I know, you ask? Because they're in the audience and not on stage. Also, I know the numbers that I'm sharing with my readers and listeners. 10% of the wealthy own 90% of the world. So I know before I meet you, if you're not one of the 10%, then you're one of the broke ones. It's an easy equation. It's math. But here's the problem with jumping straight to $1 million. If you've never held $1,000 in an investment account that you didn't touch, if you've never experienced the discipline of letting money sit and grow instead of spending it the moment you have it, then the million is a fantasy. You're dreaming for real. You might be on that stuff. Because dreaming of millions of dollars is a number with no foundation under it. You know, a house without a foundation under it will crumble at the first shake of the ground. Oh, that's some biblical game right there. You might get the dream, but keeping the dream will be hard if you've never invested in your life. You have to learn to crawl before you walk. You have to learn to walk before you run. And you have to become a thousandaire before you become a millionaire. That's not pessimism. That's the sequence. That's the order of things. Of course, unless you end up a sudden wealth victim, SWV, without any preparation for having wealth. You sign a rookie contract, entertainment deal, or win the freaking lottery. Having money and knowing what to do with it makes people rich. If you don't know what you're doing with money now, how would you handle winning or getting millions tonight? Again, that's why I'm here, with boots on the ground. The system sold you the million without teaching you the 1,000. And that gap is a big part of why 63% of Americans are still living paycheck to paycheck. We could put an end to being broke using the stock markets like the rich do. It's why a lot of them are still rich. That's what certified Wall Street smarts looks like, knowing the sequence, knowing the order of things, not skipping steps. Let me define this clearly so there's no confusion. A thousandaire is not just someone who has $1,000 in their bank account. Most people have had $1,000 pass through their checking account at some point. That's not it. A thousandaire is someone who has $1,000 or more invested, sitting in a brokerage account in an index fund, or you bought a business's stock you know that's going to outlive you. One that's working for them while they go about their life, not spending it, not withdrawing it, not moving it around, invested, growing, paying you. That distinction matters because money in your checking account is not working for you. What? And it's just sitting there waiting to be spent and not necessarily by you. Money in an investment account, even $1,000, is in the game. That money is now in the rich people's pool and not in a broke person's pocket or purse. It's compounding and gathering interest, like a pimp gathering friends. It's part of the market's ecosystem we talked about in episode 8. $1,000 invested is the first time your money starts working a second job for you. And that's the moment the money making actually begins. Now that you know what a thousandaire actually is, that's certified Wall Street smarts. Keep going. I want to share something with you that I found recently because it's exactly why the thousandaire conversation matters right now. Half of Americans have less than $500 left over every month after expenses. Not saved, left over. If that's true, we have a financial crisis on our hands already. That's before they even decide whether to invest anything. For half the country, $500 is the ceiling of what's available after the bills are paid. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sharing that to make anyone feel bad. I'm sharing it because it tells you exactly what the first goal is. If you have $500 left over every month and you put just 200 of it away in your free brokerage account, not spent, not touched, but invested, you are a thousandaire in 5 months or less, depending on commitment and enthusiasm. Even without commitment and enthusiasm, the math be mathing. Numbers are what they are. They don't lie like people do. 5 months. That's the gap between where most people are and where managing your own money actually starts. And once you hit that 1,000, you don't stop. You keep going. The thousandaire mindset isn't the destination. It's the proof of concept. It's you proving to yourself that you can do this, that you can keep money, invest, and not touch it. That's the discipline muscle that everything else is built on. Here's what I've seen happen when people hit their first 1,000 invested. And I've seen this enough times to know it's a pattern. Something shifts. It's hard to describe if you haven't experienced it yet being the key word. But the moment you have real money in the market for the first time, you start paying attention differently. You start caring about the things we talk about on this channel in a way you didn't before. The objectives, the principle, the market dynamics, the VIX. The need for financial education and literacy beginning at a young age is necessary. You become an advocate. It all becomes real when your money is in it. Before the 1,000, investing is theory. After the 1,000, it's personal. And personal is what makes people stay. Personal is what creates the consistency that compound returns need to work. The big media always talks about a Charlie Munger quote. If you don't know him, he was Warren Buffett's dude for years. They were inseparable for decades, kind of like peanut butter and jelly. Anyways, the quote says, reaching the goal of your first $100,000 is the toughest. Well, Charlie wasn't lying when most Americans don't even have $1,000 invested. And that's why I say the thousandaire mindset is less about the money and more about the identity shift. You stop being someone who thinks about investing someday. You become someone who is investing right now, today, with real money in the market, increasing your own standard of living and the standard of living of those around you. That identity shift is worth more than the $1,000 itself. You take ownership. You'll see. Don't stop, never quit. That's what separates the people who stay paid from the people who stay broke. That identity shift right there. That's certified Wall Street smarts. Let me get practical because I know some of you are sitting here thinking, Spencer, I hear you, but I barely have anything left after my bills. How do I get to 1,000 when I'm already running tight? Here's the honest answer. You start with whatever you have, not what you wish you had, what you actually have. Another reason I like numbers is you can add them up and they won't let you down. If you have $50 a month to invest, that's your starting point. $50 a month gets you to 1,000 in 20 months, less than 2 years. And those 20 months of discipline are building the habit that will serve you for the rest of your life. Remember, if you don't do this, that $50 a month is spent forever, never to be seen again, kind of like a DVD player. No matter what age you begin, if you have $100 a month, 10 months, less than a year, if you can find $200 a month, 5 months. The math doesn't lie, and it doesn't care about your income level, and neither does the stock market for that matter. It just cares about consistency, same amount, on your schedule, every month. That's the dollar cost averaging we talked about in episode 1, the strategy that works precisely because it doesn't require you to be perfect, just consistent. And if you're a lucky person, you will attract more money to yourself now that you know how to put it to work. Whenever possible, open a brokerage account if you don't have one already. I'd suggest you put it in a broad index fund if you're not sure where to start. Go back and read the Wall Street Smart series of books. Remember, I'd be suggesting, not advising. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm a player. Really, I'm a coach. I run the plays now. Anyways, then leave it alone. That's the whole strategy at this stage. Get in, stay in, let it start working for you. You'll see for yourself. Game, recognize game, always. Trust you. The Thousandaire mindset is waiting for you, and it's closer than you think. So here's where we are. You now know what my definition of a Thousandaire is. You know the sequence, you know the math. That's another step toward being certified Wall Street smarts. And certified Wall Street smarts people stay paid. That's the whole point. Download the free guide in the description. 5 things nobody wants to tell you about the stock market, but I will. That's free. Start there. And when you do, you'll be the first to know what we're building next. Comment paid below if this hit different, and drop your number in the comments. What's your Thousandaire timeline? How long until you hit your first 1,000 invested? I want to know. Let's track this together. Hit like, subscribe right here on the channel. We do this every week. Real talk, no Wall Street jargon, just street smarts for the rest of us. Quick reminder, this is for education and entertainment, high risk in trading, and I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Always do your own research before you put your money anywhere. At the end of the day, I just want to see people happy. I'm Yul Spencer, also known as Spencer. Go get your 1,000. I'll see you in the next one.